Hello. Welcome back to Football Manager 2023. It's episode number 55 of my European journeyman save back here in Finland as the manager of SJK. But things are going very, very well for us. We've had a decent season, let's put it that way. We'll have a quick look over what's happened since you were last with us. Of course, the last time you were here was a defeat to IFK Marieheim. After that, we followed it up with a nice 3-1 win over FF Yarrow, who are currently struggling down near the bottom of the table. Louis Johansson scored 2 before Gata did score an own goal for us, and we were cruising, basically, in this game. Yarrow didn't really stand a chance against us. We followed that up with a 2-0 win over VPS, who do find themselves at the bottom of the table after their fantastic start to the season. They were top after 3 games. They've not won a game since, though. They are currently rooted to the bottom of the table. Andris Kalnins, the Latvian, got his first goal for the club in this game. Louis Johansson with a penalty, and we kept a clean sheet for the first time in a long time. Clean sheets has been something of a worry for us. We backed that up, though, against Ilves, the champions from 2 years ago, with another clean sheet and another 2-0 win. Hugo Nunez and Louis Johansson with yet another penalty for us. To give us a 2-0 win in this one, and it was a very, very pleasing result. We then had 3 draws in a row. A 0-0 against FC Honka, a game that we were probably fortunate to get a draw out of, although from a neutral's point of view, it was a bit of a boring game. Not really many shots, not too much happened. Honka probably deserved the win, but we played well defensively, and I was pleased to keep the clean sheet. HJK were next up away from home, and it was another draw this time around. Andrew Mohammed with the goal for HJK after Alexandra had scored his first goal for the club to put us 1-0 up in this one. But again, another even game. We probably slightly edged it in terms of XG, but an even game and another okay performance. But we kept our unbeaten run going. It was a little bit disappointing to get a draw, but we did then have another draw. It was 2-2 against Koops, the defending champions. Jari Puistinen, the man who always scores against us. He's a fantastic player for Finnish football, and I wish I had him in my team, but he scored against us again. Bismarck Terry Siboa did then put Koops 2-1 up after we'd obviously taken the lead there, as you can see, through Leo Johansson, but he stepped up from the penalty spot again in the 82nd minute to rescue a draw for us in a game that we were fortunate to get anything out of. Koops dominated the game. Back to winning ways, though, in the next game against FC Inter, and we scored 6, and I was really, really pleased. Alexander with a double, Hugo Nunez, Leo Johnson with a double, and Andris Kalnins got on the score sheet again. Their goalkeeper had an absolute shocker. I was disappointed to concede the 2 goals. Colazzo, he's done quite well in goals since he's come back in. He's one of the players who's been complaining about first-team football. You may notice there's a new player in there as well, in Martinez. We'll go over him in just a minute. But then most recently, I've taken on FC Hacker. A 4-3 win in this one. Again, disappointing to concede the number of goals that we did. But Johansson, Nunez with 2, and Alexander again in a game which we really did deserve to win. But conceding those 3 goals was very, very disappointing. And what that's done for us is in terms of the league, we are now currently sat in 3rd place, just a point off Ilves at the top, behind Honka on goal difference. Marieheim just behind us. Little bit of a gap developing to the defending champions, and then HJK a little bit further behind, but I'm pleased to be in 3rd place. You can see we do already have a Europa League qualification spot courtesy of the old cup win, but we're having a decent season. We are having a decent season. We've got the top scorer in the league. We're up there in assists. You know, we're doing really, really well. Financially, we're not doing so well. 2.4 million now. But because we're a summer league, we're in July, we are due to enter the Europa League pretty soon, which hopefully does not get in the way of our league title push. But let's have a quick look at the Europa League to see that when we do enter. The 3rd qualifying round, we're not in that, I don't think. I don't know when we enter. It doesn't tell me anywhere. I don't know when we enter, but Man United are the defending champions. Obviously, we're not going to do amazingly well, but it might help financially. Speaking of finances, there has been some transfers. We have sold Junior Abdullahi on. We've sold him for £100,000. We paid 88, I believe, for him. but that could be due to rise to 140. Devay Barrios is now gone. Not an outstanding amount of fee. We've also sent a couple of players out on loan in Bio and Mohamed Igal. They are paying something for the loan, AC Ula, but not too much. And in terms of the players that we brought in, of course, we brought Alexander in, who we've already spoken about. Oscar Martinez comes in as a central defender. He is an American. He's got some good attributes for a central defender, so I'm pleased to have him here. We've also brought Maki Dumbia back from his loan spell at TPS. I felt he could do a job for us, and he's actually listed as one of the best defenders at the club. And he is improving as well, is the 19-year-old. He is out of contract in November, though, and he does want to leave. So hopefully we can give him a decent run in the first team, and we can make him change his mind. In terms of how we're doing as a manager, the board are happy with us. We're up to an A. In terms of our rating with the board, we are on course to work within the wage budget, which we are, but obviously we're well behind in terms of actual finances at the club. We are in debt, which is not great. Recording the top half finish, fine. Reached the last stages of the Finnish Cup. Well, we already know that we're the champions. The supporters are a little bit harder to please. They're disappointed with the sale of Barrios. Of course, he was a first-team regular, but for reasons which I went over last episode, he was declining as a footballer. And Coimbra, they're disappointed with his recent performances, and so am I, because he just doesn't score. Considering he's supposed to be a striker, he just doesn't score any goals, and it's something that I'm constantly reminded by in the media. In terms of the lineup for today, though, we are going to go with this squad. It's going to be Tang Young as the right back, Colazzo in goal, Dumbia and Oksanen as the two centre-halves. Mari Darlin continues at left full-back. Rauhaula and Milne as the two midfielders. Koistinen out on the left-hand side, beg your pardon. Nunez on the right, and then Alexander and Johansson through the middle. Danny Nash is still injured. Still 3 to 5 weeks to go. Miko Hellenius, we were just about to sell, and he broke his leg. 8 to 10 months out. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon to help try and balance the books a little bit. But this is the lineup for today against TPS. TPS currently find themselves in 8th position in the table, so it could prove to be a difficult game. But VPS, Inter down there at the bottom. Hacker also down there at the bottom. Managed by a former Sunderland player. Now, you know by now that I am a Sunderland fan. Timo Tainio used to play for Sunderland in the late 2000s. I remember him well. Yeah, very, very good. I want to say central defender. He could possibly have been a midfielder. I say I remember him well, and then I don't know where he played. But I do remember him as a person. So yeah, TPS, today's opponent. That is the lineup that we're going for. Hopefully we can continue the run of form that we are on. And keep the pressure on Ilves and Honka at the top of the table. That would be ideal. I'm going to tell the boys that this is a match that we should be winning, because we are, of course, the favourites for it. But we were the favourites for the last match you were here with us against Marieheim, and we saw how that went. We conceded 4 goals. Looking for a better performance today. Of course, we do have the top scorer in the league. We are the in-form team. We're up near the top. This immediately puts us into second place with the draw. Obviously, Honka not playing today. We could potentially finish this game top of the table. It looks like HJK and Hacker have already drawn 2-2 as well in an earlier kickoff. As we get our first highlight, it's a free kick to be swung by Nunez towards the back post and Alexander. It's a poor header, though, by the front man, and it's gone wide of the target. Makinen for TPS finds Gustafsson. Makinen with the ball in towards the box. It's towards... I missed the striker's name there, but it was towards the striker. It was a good header. I believe it was a good stave by Colazzo, but Markkinen gets another chance to get the ball in. It's headed clear by Asak, and Rahola heads it back into danger. Hivila, it's cannoned off Asak, and Colazzo collects it and finds Ndumbia looking long for Johansson. Wins the header. Alexander, he's got Nunez ahead of him. Nunez is in here, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Can score, does score. Hugo Nunez gets his 7th goal of the season. Really, really good counter-attack by the SJK team there, the boys in black, to put us 1-0 up in the 20th minute. Good header by Johansson. Alexander with a fantastic through ball for Nunez. Little dink over the goalkeeper. Sat him down, dinked over him for a good finish. And Nunez has really started to grow into this team. And what that does do is it puts us at the top of the table with, obviously, Ilves and Honka yet to play, but hopefully they can drop some points in their games. As now we have a goal kick to be taken by Foku, finds Lettinen. Hapala finds Salimi. Well cut out by Jordan Milne though. Jordan Milne looking for Alexandra, who's in. It's Alexandra with a great finish. Bags his 5th goal of the season for the club. His 5th goal for the club in total as well. Milne did really, really well in the centre of the park to cut this ball out forward by Salimi. Great anticipation there by Milne. Great ball forward to Alexander. Good touch, good finish. Goalkeeper a little bit unfortunate. He did get something on that, but unable to keep it out the back of the net. And that should see us through into half-time. No, we're going to get another highlight. It's Mary Darling with the throw-in on the left-hand side. Finds a Koistinen, feeds Alexandra back to Milne inside the area. Milne looking to get his shot away. Oh, he's rattled the crossbar. Nunez does pick up the ball though. He's got Tang Young behind him. Can we get the ball back into the box? No, he's challenged well by Huvila. And that is going to be the half-time whistle. It was a great effort there by Jordan Milne. Rattles back off the crossbar though. And as we get the second half underway, it's Lappinen for TPS. Finds Hapala. Lappinen going forward again. Good win in the air by Dumbia, but Lappinen picks up the ball. Rauhala is going to get this one though. Finds Dumbia. Rauhala into Jordan Milne. He's got players ahead of him. Nunez. Surrounded by orange shirts though. Huvila Lattinen wins the ball back between them. Finds Hapala. Back to Leppinen again into the centre half, whose name I can't read. Good header by Dumbia though, but they're still coming forward. RTPS. Ball over the top. Dumbia does really, really well. And it looks like an inspired decision to call him back from his loan. To TPS, I believe he was on loan at. So he's playing against the team he was on loan at. And Johansson's in. Oh, he squandered that. It was a good win in the air by Alexander. But Johansson has absolutely squandered his chance to put us 3 up there. And now Dumbia with the deep free kick. Weighing up his options. Finds Rauhala. Looking forward towards Alexander. Nunez does really well to latch onto the end of that. He's inside the area. Nunez, good save by Foku in goal. Quick substitution in the centre of the park there. We've brought Rauhala off. We've brought Hernandez on, the Frenchman. Last season's 2 starting centre midfields in Hernandez and Pettersson have not really had much football this season. I'd like to try and get them some match fitness in case they are needed. Tang Young is having a poor game on the right hand side as well. This second half's been quite quiet, but we're going to get Turnen on for Tang Young. Of course, a player who we signed last season in Turnen, who hasn't really done it for us yet in the black. But here is Mari Darlin on the left hand side. He's closed down. He's forced back to Oksanen. Finds Mari Darlin again. Brings the ball forward over the halfway line to Koistinen. Koistinen's got runners ahead of him in Johansson. Johansson's in again to make it 3. Leo Johansson with his 28th of the season. And with 5 minutes on the clock remaining, I think it's safe to say that we will be finishing this game atop of the table. As we quickly bring Oksanen off there. He's looking a little bit tired. We'll get Martinez on. It's a really, really good finish by Johansson, though, outside of his left foot. But it's a good ball through to find him by Koistinen. And we've absolutely deserved this victory here over TPS. We've actually got a decent goal difference as well. Up to 11 goal difference now, positive goal difference, which is something we struggled for last season. I do still think that we've conceded the most goals in the league, which is obviously disappointing, but we do now find ourselves sat on the top of the table. Obviously, Ilves and Honka do still have to play, but hopefully they can drop some points. How many goals have we conceded? We conceded 28, which is the joint worst in the table, but we've also scored 39, which is a big difference compared to last season. Last season we struggled for goals scored. In fact, if we have a look, we're on 39 now. Last season we only finished on 44, and we've still got a third of the season to go. So that is the improvement that we've made this season. We are scoring a lot more goals than we did last season, which is really helping us. Defensively is still a real worry for us. But we've only lost the 3 games. Conceding too many goals, yes, but we're scoring a lot, which is fantastic. So fantastic to find ourselves sat at the top of the table, guys, with a third of the season remaining. We've got 9 games left to try and get Finland over the line. I do have European football coming up as well. It's going to be difficult after the next 4 games. We split into the championship group, and we only come up against teams in the top half of the table, which means Ilves and Honka and also Coops as well. They're in the top half of the table, so that's the running is going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. But hopefully we can do it. But that is the end of today's episode, guys. Hopefully, with the European football coming, we can turn this around a bit, have a nice little bit of a run, as long as it doesn't affect our league campaign. But guys, thank you for watching. As always, please do remember to hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content from this channel. I'm enjoying making it, and I'm enjoying the feedback that I'm getting from a few of you. So yeah, guys, please, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you all for the next episode, where hopefully we're ticking Finland off. Cheers, guys.